I believe that climate change is one of the most important issues of our time because of the way that it connects almost every other issue that we see in the world. If we look at, racism and the way that race plays a role in the world, climate change has a huge impact on that because of the impact that it has, particularly on marginalized communities of, brown and black and people of color. The way that climate change has a greater impact on those communities. And if you look at the way that, food consumption and food distribution, as well as, water, the way that is impacted by climate change, by rising sea levels, by changing weather patterns, it can totally wipe out a crop in one season because of the way that our climate is shifting. I see a great amount of connection between climate change and every other issue that I'm passionate about. Climate change is a human rights issue. There are millions of people all over the world that have already become climate refugees because of entire island nations being swallowed by the ocean, or by different impacts that have happened on Haiti, the Philippines, Nepal, and if you for me, I'd say if you were an activist in the world today and care about some issue, odds are that it's going to be connected to climate change. And I feel like seeing those interconnections is incredibly powerful, because once we are able to unite movements, that's when we gain power to really influence change on a larger level. When people that are super passionate about Black Lives Matter or LGBTQ movements, I feel like we have to communicate and show that we are not only fighting to stop climate change, but to build a better legacy for future generations, to build a safer, healthier, more just planet for future generations. And we have to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, working in a lot of social activism as well. And once we can get people to show up at each other's movements, rallies, events, protests, sign each other's petitions, that's when we begin to create a lot of change. And I've seen more intersectionality happening recently, but we still got a long ways to go. People standing in solidarity to protect North Dakota from the Dakota Access Pipeline. Those same people should be out in the streets fighting to protect our oceans, because it's the same struggle, and it's all connected. And the action that we take and the decisions that we make are all connected. And once we acknowledge that, I feel like we have so much more power. Once we acknowledge the importance of standing united, we have so much more power than we do as individuals.